So here we have the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pens in white. The shade for white is 101. And we've got here a big bullet nib, a 1.5 bullet nib, a brush pen and a calligraphy pen. You see here the bullet nib is quite large. I do wish they did a brush pen, a big brush pen in white. I would find that really useful, but I have used that for backgrounds. And then we have the 1.5 bullet nib, which I find useful for writing. And the one I probably use most is my brush pen, which is really great for adding highlights or just for shading and drawing on dark card. And then we have the calligraphy pen, which has a chisel tip. Try and hold it around the right way so you can see. There we go, a chisel tip, and that's really good for patterns. I don't really do much lettering. I'm not that neat for lettering, but obviously it's meant for lettering. So you can see here on the card, I've just done some examples of the top one is just one line. They do look quite grey sometimes, but you can go over. So underneath here, so I've gone several layers just to show you that you can add layers to this, and the difference in the size of the wavy lines and the dots. So they are a really useful addition. I do really like the white pens. I like to use these little tiles for Zentangle patterns. That's a lot of fun. So it's really well worth adding a white pen. I think I use the brush pen more than any of the others. But I say they all are useful depending on what you want to do. If you're only going to buy one pen, if you want it just for doing little pictures, then I'd have the brush pen. If you're interested in writing, the 1.5 bullet or calligraphy, obviously this one. And this is just a fun pen, especially for bigger pictures or bigger writing. Always store your pens horizontally, as I've mentioned in all the other videos. Never upright like that, horizontally or flat, so otherwise the ink can all pool at one end and the other end will be dry. So if you look after your pens, they really will last a long time. If you're using a pen on coloured ink or black ink for a highlight, you find it will pick up colour. All you have to do is get a scrap of paper, just run the nib of the pen very gently, turning it round so that you're cleaning all sides of the nib. Just going to see if this one has a little bit of ink on it. You can see here this has a little bit of ink on the end. So all I will do is find a scrap of paper, and I will keep just running it across until the black disappears. Sometimes you'll have a little bit of staining that won't go away, but mainly you can just clean your nib by turning it around and just wiping it like that. Never ever put them under the tab, that just ruins them.